Understanding if a guy secretly likes you can be confusing, especially when he isn't vocal about his feelings. Many men struggle to express emotions directly, whether due to shyness, fear of rejection, or simply because they aren't sure how to communicate their attraction. Instead of confessing outright, they often reveal their interest through subtle behaviors, body language, and small actions that speak louder than words. If you've been wondering whether a guy in your life has feelings for you but hasn't said it, paying attention to these signs can give you a clear answer. Attraction isn't always expressed through grand romantic gestures. Sometimes, the most telling signs are in the little things: how he looks at you, the way he treats you differently from others, or how he always seems to prioritize you. Whether it's through deep eye contact, nervous fidgeting, or finding excuses to be around you, a man's unspoken actions often reveal what he feels inside. These subtle hints may seem insignificant at first, but when you start noticing them consistently, they paint a clear picture of his emotions. One of the most common indicators that a guy likes you is the way he pays attention to the smallest details about you. If he remembers things you casually mentioned weeks ago, or notices little changes in your appearance, it shows that he truly listens and values what you say. Another major sign is how he initiates conversations. If he frequently texts first or finds ways to keep the conversation going, it's a strong clue that he enjoys your presence and wants to stay connected. Body language also plays a huge role in revealing hidden attraction. If he mirrors your movements, leans in when talking to you, or makes prolonged eye contact, it suggests a subconscious emotional connection. Additionally, his level of protectiveness toward you can be a key sign. If he looks out for you, makes sure you're comfortable, or subtly gets jealous when you talk to other guys, it's a clear indication that he cares more than he lets on. Many guys will also tease and joke around with someone they like. Playful teasing is often their way of flirting while keeping things light-hearted. If he consistently makes an effort to make you laugh or create inside jokes with you, it's likely because he enjoys the bond you share. Likewise, if he compliments you frequently, whether about your appearance, intelligence, or personality, it's another way he might be trying to express his admiration without directly saying it. While not every guy will show all these signs, noticing several of them together strongly suggests that he has feelings for you. If you've been unsure about a guy's intentions, these 12 signs can help you decode his behavior and understand his emotions better. Recognizing these signals will not only give you clarity, but also help you decide how to respond if you feel the same way. 1. He finds excuses to be around you. When someone is falling for you but isn't ready to say it outright, one of the biggest signs is that he constantly finds excuses to be around you. It might seem subtle at first, but if you pay close attention, you'll notice that he always manages to be in your presence, even when there's no real reason for it. Whether it's joining a group where you're present, showing up at places he knows you'll be, or simply lingering around you longer than necessary, these are all signs that he enjoys your company and wants to be close to you. He may not openly admit his feelings, but his actions speak louder than words. He might casually say he was just passing by or just happened to be there. But the frequency of these coincidences suggests otherwise. He could also suddenly develop an interest in things you like, even if they were never part of his routine before. If you mention a favorite cafe, you might find him showing up there more often. If you're into a certain hobby, he may start talking about it, or even trying it himself just to have something in common with you. Another way he finds excuses to be around you is by offering help, even when it's not needed. Whether it's helping with an assignment, offering to carry something for you, or volunteering to assist with a task, he wants to be useful in your life. This gives him a reason to interact with you without making it obvious that he's doing it because he likes you. Sometimes he might even ask for your help with something trivial, just to start a conversation and have a moment with you. Even in social settings, he tends to gravitate towards you. In group gatherings, he will often position himself near you or find ways to engage with you more than others. If you move to a different spot, he may subtly follow suit. It's his way of staying connected without making it too obvious. He might also extend conversations unnecessarily, asking random follow-up questions just to keep talking to you a little longer. All these little actions add up. He may not be ready to confess his feelings, but his effort to always be around you is a clear indication that he enjoys your presence and possibly has deeper feelings than he's letting on. 2. His body language mirrors yours. When someone is secretly falling for you, their body language often mirrors yours without them even realizing it. This subconscious behavior happens because people tend to mimic the movements, gestures, and posture of those they feel connected to. It's a natural way of building rapport and signaling emotional closeness. If you start paying attention, you may notice that his actions subtly reflect yours, revealing his true feelings. For example, if you cross your arms, he might do the same shortly after. If you lean in while talking, he may instinctively lean in too. Even small things, like adjusting his posture, tilting his head when you do, or taking a sip of his drink right after you take yours, can indicate mirroring. These actions happen unconsciously and are a strong sign of attraction. When someone is emotionally invested, their body naturally syncs with the person they are drawn to. Another sign of body language mirroring is the way he positions himself in relation to you. If he always faces you directly, even in a group setting, it means you have his full attention. His feet, shoulders, or even his entire body might be angled toward you, showing that he's engaged and interested in your presence. This kind of mirroring is an instinctive way of fostering a deeper connection, even without words. Eye contact is also a major part of this phenomenon. If he tends to maintain eye contact as you speak and even blinks or nods in sync with you, it suggests that he is not only listening but emotionally tuned into you. This kind of engagement is a strong indicator that he feels a bond, whether he's ready to express it verbally or not. Mirroring also extends to speech and tone. If you speak softly, he may lower his voice as well. If you use certain words or phrases often, you might notice him adopting them too. This subtle mimicry is a subconscious way of creating familiarity and making you feel comfortable around him. Ultimately, mirroring body language is a powerful sign of attraction and emotional connection. If he consistently mirrors your actions, it's likely that he feels a strong pull toward you, but might not be ready to express it outright. His body, however, is already giving away the secret. 3. He remembers small details about you. When someone is secretly into you, they pay close attention to the little things you say and do. Even if a conversation seems casual or insignificant, he remembers small details about you that most people would overlook. This happens because he genuinely values your words and wants to understand you better. Unlike those who only engage in surface-level conversations, he retains information about your likes, dislikes, and random stories, showing that he truly listens when you speak. You might casually mention your favorite coffee order once, and the next time you meet, he surprises you with it without asking. Or maybe you told him about a childhood memory, and weeks later, he brings it up in conversation, showing that he remembers even the smallest things. It's not just about big moments. He recalls tiny details like your favorite movie, the way you like your fries, or the song you always hum when you're happy. This kind of attention to detail also extends to your emotions and moods. He notices when you're having a bad day, even if you haven't said anything outright. He might ask if you're okay, reference something you previously mentioned about stress, or subtly try to cheer you up in a way that aligns with your personality. It shows he's not just hearing you, he's genuinely invested in how you feel. Even in conversations, he remembers things you've said in passing, like an upcoming event you were excited about or a book you wanted to read. He may ask you about it later, proving that he not only listened, but also cared enough to follow up. This level of attentiveness sets him apart from others and suggests that his feelings for you run deeper than just casual interest. Remembering small details isn't just a habit, it's a reflection of emotional investment. If he consistently recalls things that matter to you, even without prompting, it's a strong sign that you hold a special place in his thoughts, even if he hasn't said it out loud yet. 4. He makes deep eye contact with you. When a man is secretly into you, his eyes reveal more than his words ever could. Deep eye contact is one of the strongest signs of hidden attraction, as it creates an unspoken connection that goes beyond casual conversation. If he frequently locks eyes with you and holds his gaze longer than usual, it's a clear indication that he feels something deeper, but may not be ready to express it verbally. Unlike fleeting glances or polite eye contact, deep eye contact carries intensity. It's as if he's trying to communicate something silently, drawing you into his world without speaking a single word. You might notice that even in group settings, his eyes naturally find yours, as if he's drawn to you without thinking. If he looks away quickly when you catch him staring, it could mean he's trying to hide his feelings. But if he maintains eye contact with confidence, it suggests a strong level of interest and emotional connection. Eye contact also plays a key role in building chemistry. When two people feel a bond, their pupils tend to dilate naturally, reflecting their attraction. If you find that his eyes seem brighter or more engaged when he's looking at you, it's a subconscious sign of his growing feelings. This deep gaze often happens during meaningful conversations, quiet moments, or even playful exchanges, as he's trying to understand and connect with you on a deeper level. Another thing to notice is how he reacts when you hold eye contact with him. If he leans in slightly, smiles, or softens his expression, it shows he's comfortable and enjoying the moment. On the other hand, if he looks away nervously or blushes, it means he feels something intense but isn't sure how to handle it. Either way, prolonged eye contact is a clear giveaway of unspoken attraction. Eyes often communicate what words cannot. If he's making deep, meaningful eye contact with you regularly, it's a strong sign that he's feeling something more than friendship, even if he hasn't said it yet. 5. He gets nervous or fidgety around you. When a guy is secretly into you, he may struggle to stay completely calm in your presence. Nervousness and fidgeting are common signs that he has feelings for you, but isn't sure how to express them. Even if he's usually confident around others, being near you might make him act differently because he cares about how you perceive him. You may notice small, unconscious behaviors, like playing with his hands, adjusting his clothes, or touching his face more often when you're around. He might tap his fingers on a surface, shift his weight from one foot to another, or repeatedly fix his hair. These little actions show that he's subconsciously trying to compose himself while being near someone who has an effect on him. Another sign of nervousness is stumbling over words or laughing at things that aren't necessarily funny. If he suddenly becomes more awkward, forgets what he was going to say, or struggles to keep his usual cool, it's likely because your presence makes him feel a mix of excitement and anxiety. He wants to make a good impression, but might be overthinking his actions. Eye contact can also reveal his nervous energy. If he looks at you but quickly glances away, avoids direct eye contact, or blinks more than usual, it's a sign that he's feeling flustered. He might also fidget with objects like his phone, keys, or a pen to keep his hands busy while trying to hide his nerves. Even his voice or the way he talks may change slightly. He could speak faster than usual, clear his throat often, or pause awkwardly before responding. These subtle shifts in behavior suggest that he's not just having an ordinary conversation. He's affected by you in a way he might not even realize. If you notice these nervous habits around you, but not when he's talking to others, it's a strong sign that he sees you as more than just a friend. His nerves and fidgeting aren't signs of disinterest. They're proof that he cares about how he comes across and likely has deeper feelings for you. 6. He prioritizes you over others. When a guy is secretly into you, one of the biggest signs is that he consistently prioritizes you over others. Even if he doesn't openly express his feelings, his actions will show that you hold a special place in his life. Whether it's in small, everyday situations or bigger decisions, he will naturally put you first because he values your presence and wants to be close to you. You may notice that he makes an effort to spend time with you, even when he has other commitments. If he changes his plans just to accommodate you or chooses to be with you over other options, it's a clear sign that you matter to him. He may subtly adjust his schedule to match yours, offering to help you with things, or making sure he's available when you need him. This doesn't mean he ignores his responsibilities, but when given a choice, he often picks you. Another sign is the way he treats your conversations and interactions. If he responds to your texts quickly, makes time for calls, or remembers little things you say, it shows that he's emotionally invested. Even in group settings, he might focus more on you than on others, making sure you feel included, comfortable, and heard. His attention naturally gravitates toward you, and he may even subtly prioritize your opinions and needs over those of others. He also supports you in ways that go beyond casual friendship. If you're facing a challenge, he will be there to encourage and help you, even if it's inconvenient for him. Whether it's staying up late to talk when you're upset, offering a ride when you need one, or showing up for events that are important to you, he makes an effort because he genuinely cares. Even when he's busy, he finds ways to check in, ensuring that you know he's thinking about you. His consistent effort to make you a priority, even without expecting anything in return, is a strong indication that his feelings run deeper than he's letting on. 7. He teases you in a playful way. When a guy is secretly into you, one of the most common ways he expresses his feelings is through playful teasing. This light-hearted behavior allows him to interact with you in a fun, flirtatious way without making his feelings too obvious. Teasing creates a sense of closeness and builds a unique connection between the two of you, making your interactions more memorable and enjoyable. His teasing might come in the form of jokingly exaggerating something you said, playfully imitating you, or giving you a silly nickname. He might pretend to challenge you on small things, like who has better taste in music or who's better at a certain game. These moments aren't meant to be mean-spirited, but rather to create a fun and engaging dynamic between you. If he teases you with a smile, a playful tone, or laughter, it's a strong sign that he enjoys your company and wants to make you laugh. Another key sign is that his teasing is never hurtful or disrespectful. Instead, it's light and friendly, often followed by a warm smile or a quick apology if he feels he went too far. He wants to make you laugh, not make you uncomfortable. If you tease him back, he'll likely play along and enjoy the banter, which only strengthens the connection between you. Teasing also gives him an excuse to be around you more and keep the conversation flowing. If he's constantly finding little ways to joke with you, especially when he doesn't do it as much with others, it's a clear indication that he feels comfortable with you and is trying to build a special bond. At its core, playful teasing is a way of flirting without being too direct. If he often engages in this kind of playful behavior with you, it's likely his way of showing interest while testing the waters to see how you respond. 8. He compliments you often. When a guy is secretly into you, he will find ways to compliment you often, sometimes in subtle ways and sometimes more directly. Compliments are his way of making you feel special while hinting at his attraction without outright confessing his feelings. If he frequently praises you, whether about your looks, personality, or even small things you do, it's a strong sign that he admires you more than he lets on. His compliments might not always be grand or obvious. Instead of a simple, "You look beautiful," he might say, "That color really suits you," or "You always have the best style." He notices the little things, your hairstyle, your choice of accessories, or even the way you laugh, and makes sure to acknowledge them. These small but meaningful compliments show that he's paying attention and genuinely appreciates your presence. Beyond appearance, he may compliment your personality or skills. He might admire your kindness, intelligence, or sense of humor, telling you things like, "You always know how to make people feel better," or "I love how passionate you are about what you do." This type of compliment suggests that he's not just physically attracted to you, but also values who you are as a person. Sometimes, his compliments may come in the form of playful teasing or indirect praise. He might jokingly say, "How do you always manage to be this good at everything?" Or, "You're way too cool. How do I keep up?" These light-hearted remarks still carry the underlying message that he's impressed by you. If he consistently compliments you, especially about things that others might not even notice, it's a strong sign that he sees you as someone special. His words reflect his admiration and growing feelings, even if he hasn't directly admitted them yet. 9. He supports you even in small things. When a guy is secretly into you, he will show his feelings through consistent support, even in the smallest ways. Whether it's encouraging you, helping you with minor tasks, or just being there when you need him, his actions reflect how much he cares about you. Unlike casual friends who might support you occasionally, he goes out of his way to make sure you feel valued and appreciated. You may notice that he's always rooting for you, whether it's for a big goal or something as simple as picking an outfit for an event. If you mention being nervous about a presentation, he might send you a reassuring message or remind you how capable you are. If you're working on a personal project, he'll show interest and ask about your progress, making you feel like your efforts truly matter. His support also shows in everyday gestures. He might hold the door for you, offer to carry something heavy, or help you solve a small problem, even when it's inconvenient for him. These actions may seem minor, but they add up to show that he genuinely wants to make your life easier and more comfortable. Another subtle but meaningful sign is that he listens carefully to what you need, even if it's something unspoken. If you casually mention wanting to try a new coffee shop, he might suggest going there together sometime. If you're having a stressful day, he could send a funny meme or a thoughtful message to lift your mood. These small but thoughtful actions indicate that he's always looking for ways to support and make you happy. Even in group settings, he prioritizes your well-being. If you're feeling left out in a conversation, he might bring you into it. If you seem uncomfortable, he'll subtly check in with you. His attentiveness and willingness to help, no matter how small the situation, reveal his deeper feelings. Support isn't always about grand gestures. It's the consistent, everyday moments that truly show how much he cares. If he continuously makes an effort to uplift you, assist you, and be present in your life, it's a strong indication that he's emotionally invested in you, even if he hasn't openly admitted it yet. 10. He initiates conversations and texts first. When a guy is secretly into you, he won't just wait for you to reach out. He will take the initiative to start conversations and text you first. This is a clear sign that he enjoys talking to you and wants to stay connected, even without an obvious reason. Unlike casual friends who might respond out of politeness, he actively finds ways to engage with you, showing that you're on his mind. You may notice that he often starts conversations, whether in person or over text. He might ask about your day, send a random funny meme, or bring up something you mentioned earlier just to keep the conversation going. Even if there's nothing specific to talk about, he'll find an excuse, like asking for your opinion on something trivial or sharing a song he thinks you'd like. These small efforts show that he genuinely enjoys interacting with you. Another sign is consistency. If he texts you first, once or twice, it could be coincidence. But if he regularly initiates conversations, it means he's making a conscious effort to be in your life. He might check in when you're feeling down, text you good morning or good night, or start casual chats throughout the day. These actions indicate that he's thinking about you even when you're not around. Even in group settings, he may be the one to start conversations with you directly, rather than waiting for you to speak first. He might find ways to sit near you, engage with you more than others, or ask you specific questions that show he values your opinion. This kind of effort means he's not just being polite. He genuinely enjoys your presence and wants to keep the connection alive. If he frequently initiates conversations, especially without needing a specific reason, it's a strong sign that he likes you more than he lets on. His desire to talk to you and stay in touch, even when it's not necessary, reveals that you hold a special place in his thoughts. 11. He acts protective around you. When a guy is secretly into you, he naturally becomes protective of you, even in subtle ways. This isn't about being possessive or controlling. It's about showing genuine care for your well-being and wanting to make sure you're safe and comfortable. His protective instincts kick in because he values you and feels responsible for you, even if he hasn't openly expressed his feelings. You might notice small gestures, like him walking on the outer side of the sidewalk to keep you away from traffic, offering you his jacket when it's cold, or making sure you get home safely. If you're in a crowded place, he may position himself slightly in front of you, or create space so you don't feel uncomfortable. These actions may seem small, but they show he's always thinking about your safety and comfort. Another sign is how he reacts when he senses you're in distress. If you're feeling upset or stressed, he'll try to comfort you, whether by offering advice, lightening the mood with jokes, or just being there to listen. If someone is rude to you, he might step in to defend you, even if he does it in a subtle way. He won't let anyone disrespect you and will always make sure you feel supported. His protective nature also extends to everyday situations. If you're carrying something heavy, he'll offer to help. If you're walking alone at night, he might check in to make sure you're okay. Even when you're making decisions, he might give thoughtful advice, not to control you, but because he genuinely cares about what's best for you. This type of protectiveness isn't something he does for everyone. It's reserved for people he truly values. If he consistently shows concern for your well-being and makes an effort to look out for you, it's a strong sign that he has deeper feelings, even if he hasn't said it out loud yet. 12. He gets jealous but tries to hide it. When a guy is secretly into you, jealousy is one of the most telling signs, even if he tries to hide it. He may not openly admit his feelings, but his reactions when you talk about other guys or spend time with someone else can reveal a lot. Jealousy doesn't always come in dramatic displays. Sometimes it shows up in subtle ways that hint at his hidden emotions. You might notice a slight shift in his mood when you mention another guy, even if it's just a friend. He might go quiet, change the subject, or try to downplay the situation by acting uninterested. In some cases, he may tease you about it in a playful way, like jokingly saying, "Oh, so you have a new best friend now?" This is his way of masking his jealousy without making it obvious. Another common sign is that he becomes more competitive when another guy is around. He might try to impress you, talk more, or subtly find ways to bring your attention back to him. If he suddenly starts acting differently, being extra funny, confident, or engaged, it could be because he wants to stand out and remind you of his presence. Sometimes he might ask indirect questions to gauge your interest in someone else. He could casually say, "So, are you and him close?" Or, "Do you like guys like that?" These kinds of questions aren't just curiosity, they're his way of figuring out where he stands with you. Even in group settings, he may watch your interactions more closely when another guy is involved. If he seems a little more distant, makes sarcastic remarks, or suddenly acts disinterested, it might be his way of covering up jealousy. He doesn't want to seem possessive, but deep down, he can't help but care. The biggest giveaway is his overall behavior after a situation that sparks jealousy. If he seems quieter, more distracted, or even a little irritated, but won't admit why, it's likely because he's trying to process his feelings. If he truly had no interest, he wouldn't react at all. While he may not say it outright, his subtle jealousy is a strong indicator that he sees you as more than just a friend and wishes he had a more special place in your life.